Inspirational Creatives, episode 274.
When people enter and start out in business and start out building a business, oftentimes things happen, life happens, situations happen. It's very easy for the business to then control you. If the business is controlling you, then that can be incredibly stressful.
Welcome to Inspirational Creatives. I'm your host, Rob Lawrence. Join me every Friday as I chat with successful artists, producers, and creative entrepreneurs who share powerful stories and strategies. They can help you to create the life that you want. Listen each week as these inspirational creatives show you how to take your creativity to the next level. You'll learn how to create a sustainable business that inspires others and gives you the financial freedom and lifestyle that you want. Thanks for listening. Make sure you sign up at inspirationalcreatives.com to get free exclusive bonus material. And now, on with the show. Rob here, and welcome to this short action episode on Inspirational Creatives. In this short action episode, I'm going to share with you the wisdom of Alison Boyle as we explore how to take control of your business before it takes control of you. Now, Alison is the last guest I had on the series, and somebody who is a small business marketing expert, somebody who has run her own business for many, many years. I urge you to grab a notebook and pen or your favourite note-taking app, and then get ready to make plenty of notes from what I believe are some of the most fundamental underlying principles from this entire series. These principles could help you to create a business and a life you love, or help you to develop your already successful creative business. I want to begin this short action episode with this clip from episode 274, which was the last episode, where Alison and I got talking about money and managing costs in your small business. Here's what Alison had to say around business mindset, and we'll get back to the business of managing money and costs in just a moment. So get ready to write down some important key principles and points to help you create a successful life and business based around your creative work.
The first thing that I would say, I want to say it to my younger self actually, the first thing I would say is, first of all, make a decision that are you going to just create another job for yourself, or are you serious about your business? Because if you're serious about the business, then seriously look at getting your mindset to that point where you are a business owner and you're not an employee. So first thing I would address is your mindset and get to that point where you cannot do everything, and nor should you. Focus on what you do best and build a team around you, build an A team around you. The second thing that I would suggest is be very, very clear on what your offer is. Have that crystal clear and make it very, very easy for people to buy from you. Make your website very clear on the pain points and what is your offer that's going to solve their problem. So you also really, really need to understand your audience and get clarity around your offer. They are the most important things, because if you can understand that, then the rest is just putting systems in place for that to be implemented and scaled online.
Alison suggests that if you're truly creating a business, it is important that you adopt a business mindset. Otherwise, you're just creating yourself another job. Alison goes on to suggest that the key to building a business is to build a team around you. At first, it may be you that wears all of the hats, but you will soon need to start dispersing those hats and getting some help so you can grow your business further, if indeed that's what your aims are. In the meantime, Alison suggests getting crystal clear about what it is that you have to offer and making it easy for people to buy from you. You'll want to better understand your audience so you're absolutely clear on what problem it is you're solving for them, and then you'll want to express what your business offers in terms they understand. You'd be surprised at how many businesses, particularly online, have multiple barriers, making it hard for people to easily buy from them. Don't let this be you. So when it comes to marketing your business, here's what Alison had to say.
And if you, again, are serious about your marketing your business, and people say to me, oh, should I do Facebook ads? Should I do Google ads? Should I do this? The bottom line is, start organically first you'll have a small budget when you're starting out. So start out organically. And by organically, I mean your own Facebook page or your own Facebook profile. Post on there, post on your page, post on LinkedIn, connect with like-minded people, connect with your audience on LinkedIn. that's a great place to start and start to reach out and have conversations. You could do networking events as well, but be very, very clear, very, very clear on your offer. And then when you know that your offer is proven, you've got results from it, then start to do the paid advertising. Because when you're doing paid advertising, so your paid Facebook ads and your Google ads and your YouTube as well and Instagram, those platforms are there to amplify your offer. They are there to amplify what is already successfully selling. So that's the route that I would take.
I think what Alison is saying here is that it's important not to run before you can walk, particularly when it comes to your marketing. To keep costs low and to be sure what you have to offer is rock solid, or rather to develop a rock solid offer, Alison suggests starting organically first. This means connecting with like-minded people, those in your community. Connect with other business owners online and at industry events, for example, to have conversations to better understand your place in the market. Once you've got something solid, something new and unique to offer, once you've tested your sales process and your pricing a few times, you might want to consider moving towards a paid advertising or ads online model. One of the biggest challenges for a business of any size is cash flow and keeping an eye on costs. Alison and I were discussing how financially successful people have their mind as much on costs as they do on income and profit, because it affects the income and the profit. As small creative business people, we can learn a lot from those most successful. Keep that notebook handy because I'm about to share with you some more of Alison's wisdom as she shares with us one of the things that rich people do to manage their money. And it's these guiding principles that I've heard several times from multiple and trusted sources that have brought me very effective results myself. Now, at first, if it's anything like my own experience, it may feel a little counterintuitive, particularly if this is the first time that you've heard these principles, but I encourage you to keep an open mind. So here's Alison talking about how to make a profit in your business, as well as keeping an eye on costs.
Everyone's going to have fixed costs. Of course, they'll have their staff. They'll have the VAT, obviously. They'll have the tax they have to pay, the money you have to put away for the tax man. And because that's important to allocate that, as the money comes in. There's a great book I've read, or I'm reading actually, called Profit First. If you're starting out in business, or even if you've been going for a while, and you're not really on top of your finances as much as you think you are, which I can probably guarantee would be most people, by moving the money as it comes in and allocating that money into different accounts as it comes in, you will be amazed at the difference that will make to your bottom line. So when the money comes in, okay, right, that's the VAT, move that to the VAT pot. That's for staff. Let's move that to the staff pot. This is for the tax man. We'll move that to the tax man pot. And then you'll have a little bit left. And with whatever's left, then put that that's your profit pot. So keep your profit pot separate.
Alison mentions a book called Profit First, which is a book I haven't read yet. However, I'd add to Alison's recommendation with a book called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. I'd also recommend Rob Moore's book, Money. The underlying principle here is to allocate your income to different accounts as soon as the income comes in. My experience when starting out is that this can be tricky at first, so you might have to get creative with your cash flow as to how to pay off expenses and move money from one pot to the other. Hopefully, over time and soon, you'll build up a nice reserve in your main business account, which allows you to effectively allocate cash into the relevant pots so everything gets paid easily. I remember coming across similar ideas elsewhere, as in Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Workweek and Ramit Sethi's book, I Will Teach You How to Be Rich. And I've had positive experiences doing the same thing with my personal accounts. For example, allocating personal income to education, charity, short and long-term saving accounts.
But do it as you go rather than being surprised at the end of the financial year when your accountant turns around to you and says, oh, by the way, you owe HMRC, £20,000. You think, well, where's that going to come from?
I'd like to wrap up this short action episode with some final thoughts about how to manage your creative business and to keep things under control. I'm hoping this final clip will tie everything in this short action episode together for you, giving you some inspiration and ideas to act upon towards creating a successful business. Here's Alison with some insightful wisdom about how and why we choose to be in a business and how best to go about managing it in a broader sense.
When people enter and start out in business and start out building a business, oftentimes things happen. Life happens, situations happen. And then it's very easy for the business to then control you. And then if the business is controlling you, then that can be incredibly stressful. And so the key is at all times to control it, because we all go into business, we all go into business to make money and to make a profit and to serve our clients in the best way we possibly can. And so the more you're able to control that. And again, internally, you control it by putting systems in place. Another area that business owners fall into, the trap they fall into, is that they keep a lot of their learnings and the knowledge in their head and not offloading it and not sharing it. And if they don't offload it and they don't share it, then when things go wrong, guess what? They're the only person that can fix it. Whereas if they had a system in place where if something happened, because situations do happen that sometimes, are not great, but we have to deal with it. And if they had a process in place and a system in place, effectively, if you create like an internal well-oiled engine, then the business is less reliant upon you. And therefore that takes the stress away from the business owner.
Ultimately, if you're not choosing to be a solo freelancer, i.e. someone who has a job, or maybe you're a freelancer that wants to scale your talents, abilities and offerings, you'll want to create a business that's less reliant upon you. To do this, according to Alison, you'll need systems and, as Alison mentioned earlier, people. This way you can automate, delegate and eliminate your business functions and create a grander system that works for you. Alison suggests too that a lot of business owners make the mistake of keeping all the learning and knowledge that they develop in their head, which might not be a good idea for you. You might want to document what you know as you go along as best as you can, and you might even want to sell and gain leverage from the products and services that you create by teaching others what you know. But fundamentally, at first, you'll find a lot of your business is operating in your head, which is not the safest and most practical place for that IP, that information and know-how to be. If you want to scale what it is you do, and if, like me, you want to get out of your own way by not being your own bottleneck, you've got to create a business that can operate independently and without you. I hope this short action episode has helped you to gain some powerful ideas about how to take control of your business before it takes control of you. If you'd like to hear more of Alison's wisdom, and I had a great chat with Alison, head on over to inspirationalcreatives.com and click on the episodes tab and look for episode 273. Let me know what resonated with you in today's episode by emailing me at rob@inspirationalcreatives.com, and I'll chat to you soon. Thanks for listening. Nothing beats the stories and advice of an expert to help you raise your creative game. I would love to know what you thought about today's episode, so don't forget to subscribe in iTunes, where you can rate and review the show. If you like this episode, I invite you to share it on Facebook or Twitter with the one person you know who will benefit from the wisdom shared here today. You can find the show notes on inspirationalcreatives.com/podcast. If you have a burning question or a great idea for a guest, head on over to inspirationalcreatives.com/contact, where you can connect with me there.